Hello and welcome to the 2023 virtual conference of the Association for Mormon Letters. I'm William Morris and I'm serving as president of the association this year. It is an AML tradition for the president to provide some remarks at each year's conference. These remarks tend to focus on definitions, possibilities, personal journeys with, and even defenses of Mormon literature. They are all important documents, often beautifully written and always heartfelt. I commend them to you, especially those addresses of my most immediate predecessors, Melissa Leilani Larson, James Goldberg, and Eric Jepson, all of which can be found in a playlist here on the AML YouTube channel. Last year's conference focused on Mormon literature's progress and prospects and the legacy of Eugene England. The title of the conference was a tribute to England's groundbreaking essay, Mormon Literature, Progress and Prospects, which took a look at Mormon literature up to the late 1990s, breaks it into 4 distinct literary periods, and attempts to establish important authors, works, themes, and directions for the field. I've reread the essay several times over the past year and was struck by 2 areas that the essay doesn't cover. The first is that, other than a nod to the work of Orson Scott Card and a claim about the importance of the personal essay to Mormon literature, England doesn't address popular genres in relation to Mormonism. Part of that is that the explosion in Mormons writing genre fiction has yet to come. Part of that is his preference for modes that are generally considered part of capital L literature. But we can't tell the story of Mormon literature without talking about genre fiction, film, poetry, theater, and comics. Yes, of course, science fiction and fantasy, but also Westerns, romance, mystery and thriller, horror, young adult, middle grade, and picture books. We won't be covering all of those genres in depth in this conference. And while the AML defines Mormon literature as any narrative work that is by, about, or for Mormons, we'll mostly be focusing on works that are overtly Mormon in their texts and or themes. Hopefully we'll be able to take a closer look at more of the genres and authors we don't get to in this conference in the years to come. We also won't be completely ignoring genres that England might be more comfortable with. But genre is the lens we'll be taking, and to my mind, it's an important one. You can't tell the story of Mormon literature without it. Indeed, it seems to me that even England's faithful realism, his term for the dominant Mormon literary mode of his time, has taken a turn over the past 10 to 15 years towards the weird, the speculative, the strange. If we are to understand our most recent history as a field, we need to be exploring questions of genre. And that's the theme of our 2023 conference. Austen's, King's, Le Guin's, and Tolkien's of our own, Mormons and genre, is both a full, and thus the theme of our 2023 conference is both a follow-up from last year's conference and the start of what I hope will be a continuing discussion about genre and Mormon literature. I invite you to join in and ask questions this evening, tomorrow evening, and Saturday as we bring you 3 special panels, numerous fascinating papers, 2 excellent conversations, and of course, the presentation of our awards for work produced in 2022. Earlier, I said that I was struck by 2 areas that England's essay didn't pay much attention to. The second is one that I often find missing in the many discussions and even fierce debates that have been held over the years about Mormon literature, and that is, what is required to create, edit, publish, market, preserve, and explain Mormon literature? This is a small field. This is a field without a lot of formal or financial resources. This is a field that often seems more ready to produce manifestos than pay authors and scholars. I'm not here to lament that. I'm here to celebrate and acknowledge what we accomplish in spite of that. Every person you will hear from over the course of this conference, and every finalist, heck, every work in consideration to be a finalist for an AML award, has devoted time and resources to Mormon literature. This field does not exist without those efforts. And so as you see people introduce themselves here at panels, as you see authors or critics mentioned during the course of presentations and conversations, as you see titles mentioned or awarded, as you see reviews and posts go up on the AML website, as you see posts go up on the AML Instagram or the social media platforms of other publications, as you see anything published by the Association for Mormon Letters or Dialogue or BCC Press or Ships of Haygoth, or Wayfair Magazine, or Signature Books, or the Mormon Lit Blitz, or the Archive, or Sunstone, or BYU Studies, or Hemmeline Publications, or any number of presses and publications. I'd like you to remember that none of this happens without people. None of what we explore and celebrate at this conference, and none of what we will explore and celebrate at future conferences happens without poets, editors, social media managers, podcasters, critics, bloggers, directors, playwrights, graphic artists, authors, librarians, archivists, actors, awards committees and organizers, webmasters, publishers, patrons, community builders and connectors, readers, supporters, and more. None of this happens without you. So thank you and enjoy the conference. I will see you in just a few minutes for our first panel here on the AML's YouTube channel. Thanks. Bye.